5. Home is where the heart is. The idiom, "home is where the heart is," means that one's true home or place of belonging is where one's loved ones or cherished things are. It emphasizes the idea that a physical location is not as important as being with the people or things that bring us joy and make us feel safe and loved. Here are a few examples to illustrate the meaning of this idiom. 1. Sarah has been traveling around the world for months, but she always feels a sense of longing to return to her family. She believes that home is where the heart is. 2. After living in a big city for years, John decided to move back to his small hometown. He realized that home is where the heart is and he wanted to be closer to his childhood friends and family. 3. Even though they have a luxurious vacation home, the Smiths always feel homesick when they are away. For them, home is where the heart is, and it's being together as a family that truly makes a place feel like home. 4. Mary has moved several times due to her job, but she always carries a picture of her children with her. It serves as a reminder that home is where the heart is, and her true happiness lies in being with her loved ones. 5. Jack has traveled to many beautiful destinations, but he always finds himself missing his cozy apartment. He believes that home is where the heart is because it's the place where he feels most comfortable and at peace. In summary, the idiom, "home is where the heart is," emphasizes that the feeling of home is not solely dependent on a physical location but rather on the presence of loved ones and cherished things. 4. Everything but the kitchen sink. The idiom, "everything but the kitchen sink," is used to describe a situation where someone includes or brings a large or excessive amount of things, often unnecessary or unrelated items. It implies that everything imaginable has been included, except for the kitchen sink itself, which is a fixture typically found in a kitchen. This idiom is often used in a figurative sense to emphasize the abundance or excessiveness of something. It can be used in various contexts, such as describing a person who overprepares for a trip, a speaker who includes too many details in a presentation, or a situation where someone brings an excessive amount of items to an event. Here are a few examples to illustrate the usage of this idiom. 1. John packed for his camping trip with everything but the kitchen sink. He brought a tent, sleeping bags, cooking utensils, food, clothes, a portable shower, fishing gear, and even a portable generator. 2. The new employee's report was incredibly detailed, including everything but the kitchen sink. It had charts, graphs, statistics, and numerous appendices, making it difficult for others to follow. 3. Sarah always brings everything but the kitchen sink to the beach. She carries a large cooler filled with food and drinks, umbrellas, beach chairs, towels, toys, sunscreen, a portable speaker, and even a volleyball net. 4. When moving into their new house, the Smiths brought everything but the kitchen sink. They had boxes upon boxes of clothes, books, decorations, and kitchen appliances, making the moving process quite challenging. In all these examples, the idiom, "everything but the kitchen sink," is used to emphasize the excessive or unnecessary amount of items being brought or included in a particular situation. 3. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The idiom, "if it ain't broke, don't fix it," is a colloquial expression that means if something is working perfectly fine or functioning well, there is no need to make any changes or try to improve it. It suggests that unnecessary meddling or tinkering with something that is already satisfactory may lead to unintended problems or complications. Here are a few examples to help illustrate the meaning of this idiom. 1. Imagine you have a reliable old car that has been running smoothly for years without any major issues. Your friend suggests getting a new car, but you respond with, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." In this context, you mean that since your current car is working perfectly fine, there is no need to spend money on a new one. 2. Let's say you have a successful business with a well-established customer base and a proven marketing strategy. Your partner proposes making significant changes to the business model, but you respond by saying, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." Here, you imply that since your business is already thriving, there is no need to disrupt its stability by implementing unnecessary changes. 3. Suppose you are cooking a recipe that has always received great reviews and is loved by your family and friends. Someone suggests adding a new ingredient or altering the cooking method, but you reply, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." This means that since the recipe is already a hit, there is no need to make any modifications that might compromise its taste or quality. In all these examples, the idiom emphasizes the importance of recognizing when something is functioning well and not making any unnecessary changes that could potentially disrupt its efficiency or success. It encourages people to appreciate and maintain what is already working effectively. 2. Make do. The idiom, make do, means to manage or cope with a situation using whatever resources are available, even if they are not ideal or sufficient. It implies making the best out of a less than desirable situation. Here are a few examples to help illustrate the meaning of make do. 1. Example: Jane lost her luggage at the airport, so she had to make do with borrowing clothes from her friend during her trip. Explanation: in this example, Jane didn't have her own clothes, but she managed the situation by using her friend's clothes instead. She made do with what was available to her. 2. Example: due to the pandemic, many restaurants had to make do with limited seating capacity to comply with social distancing guidelines. Explanation: in this case, the restaurants didn't have the usual number of customers they could accommodate. However, they made do by adapting to the situation and maximizing the available space while following safety regulations. 3. Example: after his computer broke, Tom had to make do with his old, slow laptop until he could afford a new one. Explanation: Tom didn't have the ideal computer he wanted, but he managed by using his old laptop, even though it wasn't as efficient. He made do with what he had until he could purchase a new one. 4. Example: Sarah's kitchen was being renovated, so she had to make do with a makeshift cooking area in her dining room. Explanation: Sarah's kitchen was not accessible due to the renovation, so she improvised and created a temporary cooking space in her dining room. She made do by using what was available to her until the renovation was complete. Overall, the idiom, make do, emphasizes the ability to adapt and find solutions with the resources at hand, even if they are not ideal. It showcases the importance of flexibility and creativity in managing situations when faced with limitations or challenges. 1. Bite the hand that feed. The idiom, bite the hand that feeds you, is a common English expression that means to harm or betray someone who has been kind or helpful to you. It implies an act of ingratitude or unappreciation towards someone who has been supportive. This idiom has its roots in the behavior of animals, particularly dogs, who sometimes bite the hand of the person who is feeding them. It is used metaphorically to describe situations where someone acts against their own best interests by harming the person or entity that has been providing for them. Here are a few examples to help illustrate the usage of this idiom. 1. Example: Tim had always been supportive of his friend Jack, offering him advice and helping him in difficult times. However, when Tim faced a setback, Jack spread rumors about him to colleagues. In this situation, Jack bit the hand that fed him by betraying Tim's trust and harming their friendship. 2. Example: Sarah was hired by a prestigious company and was given several opportunities to grow her career. However, she started to slack off, missed deadlines, and showed a lack of commitment. Eventually, her employer had to let her go. Sarah bit the hand that fed her by not appreciating the opportunities given to her and not putting in the required effort. 3. Example: The government provided financial aid to a struggling business to help them stay afloat during tough times. However, instead of using the funds wisely, the business owner mismanaged the money and made poor decisions. The business eventually failed, and the owner was left with nothing. In this case, the business owner bit the hand that fed them by wasting the aid and not utilizing it effectively. Overall, the idiom, "bite the hand that feeds you," serves as a reminder to appreciate and value the support and kindness of others, rather than taking it for granted or acting against their best interests. Did you like the video? If yes, give us a thumbs up. This will help the channel as well as others to find it. We add multiple videos daily. Subscribe, so you won't miss any.